I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're diving into a world where mystery, art, and the moon collide. Imagine waking up one day with a brand new artistic ability. This is the journey of Hamid Molavi in his Nightscape Tetralogy. With stunning illustrations and a mesmerizing evolution of talent, this series invites you to witness the magic of creativity unfolding page by page. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below the interview. And be sure to download the Spotlight Network TV app streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Hamid, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me over.
It is my pleasure. Great to have you on the show. This is a wonderful series you've created. Let's talk about how it began. Could you describe to us the moment you realized overnight that you had the ability to draw?
Sure. Benam Khoda, in the name of God. Like I was explaining to a lot of the friends and family, started September 29th of 2017, approximately 8 years ago. I didn't do anything special that night. I went to bed, woke up, and images were coming to my mind, to my subconscious mind from all over. And it was very strange to me because I had never drawn anything in my life. In fact, as a child, I found drawing to be very arduous and difficult because you had to calculate, all the angles correctly, the shading and all that. It was just too much. So I grabbed a black pen, started drawing the images that were coming into my mind. And it was, even the introductory ones looked really good. So I texted some of the pictures to the families and friends, and they did not believe me. They said that, did you draw those? I said, yes.
Amazing.
And so family was surprised. They said that, you had never drawn anything. How were you able to draw these things? And I said, no, I do not know. I woke up, the images are coming, and I close my eyes and I can just use pencil, charcoal, or pen and ink to bring them onto the paper. The unique thing that I can say about the difference between me and the other artists is that, I mean, not to be bragging about it, but a lot of the artists, they have to have a reference in the real world. So they look at the bridge, they draw the bridge. They look at a tree, they draw a tree. They look at a cathedral, they draw a cathedral. I can proudly say in 7 years with over 1,000 drawings, I have not looked at anything. I close my eyes. I let the imagination run wild and free, and it be my guide. And whatever comes to my mind, I bring it onto the paper. And human imagination is limitless. So the number of the images that come to a person's mind is way more than the pictures that you can take of the physical objects in the world, or by looking at a cathedral or tree or anything like that. So I work purely from imagination. Never ever have looked anything in the outside world and bring it to the paper. No.
Amazing. I think that's what makes your work so unique. Tell us how this newfound artistic ability impacted or led to the creation of Nightscapes, rather.
Sure. So I was, I apologize. Let me go back to the, okay. All right. Can you see me now?
Everything's good.
So I started drawing them, and the very first images that were coming into my mind were reflection of the moon in the water. So I started drawing those, and then image after image after image was coming. So and I started making a compilation of them in the year 2019. So my friends told me, they said that, this gift was given to you by God. Why don't you go ahead and make a compilation of all these images? And at first, I was not thinking about writing a book or drawing the illustrations or anything like that. It was just a fun hobby to me. At nights, anytime I, would get off work from pharmacy, I would come home and draw one drawing. And then starting in the year 2019, I started putting them together. I started putting my autograph on the bottom of the page and writing down the date that the work was done. So the Nightscapes is a compilation of everything that I've done cumulatively in the year 2019. And there was, I believe, 156 pictures. We divided them into, me and my publisher, we divided them into 4 books, each one containing 44 illustrations. And this is how it came about. So, and after that, after this tetralogy is over, I'm working on new projects. They're not works of nature, they're different. It's just all different kinds of things come into my mind. Nightscape's tetralogy was primarily about the nature. The rest of them are stories that are coming into my mind. So illustrations have short stories associated with them. And it will be coming out. I call it The City of Silence. It has a very interesting story, but we'll talk about it later on when it gets printed and all that.
Wonderful. Looking forward to that. Let's give the folks at home an overview of the Nightscapes Tetralogy. What will they find within the covers of these books?
I'm sorry, repeat the question again.
Give them folks at home an overview. What will they find inside the books?
Basically, most of these drawings are associated with the nature, especially the moon and the night, trees, rivers, waterfalls, reflection of the moon in the water. And every now and then, some other things came into my mind that may not have had to do anything with the nature, but it was in the process of me putting the compilation, so I added those. So it's not all just nature. Some of them look like abstract arts, and sometimes the audience asks me, what do these mean? And I tell them, I don't know. Whatever comes to my mind, I'll draw. I will let the interpretation to be done by the audience. So, but primarily nature and depictions of the night, moon, waterfall, things like that, mountains, tornadoes.
Wonderful. What do you hope the reader or the viewer takes away from your artwork and your books?
Let me think about that question. Mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery. That's the word that comes to my mind. It evokes a sense of mystery by looking at it. They have told me in the past that every picture tells a story. I summarized Prophet Moses' life in one picture. This is, I believe, in volume number 1. And that stood out to me of all the pictures. This one was really, really interesting. I tried to summarize entire Prophet Moses' life in one picture in the volume number 1. And I displayed it in Sedalia, Missouri, during one of the art exhibitions. Things of that nature, but they all evoke a sense of mystery by looking at them. This is what's unique about them.
Wonderful, wonderful. The moon is a big influence in your artwork. Tell us how it influences your creative process.
Oh yeah, moon is associated with magic and subconscious and everything mysterious.
Amazing, amazing. Are there any themes or emotions you try to elicit within your work?
Let me think about that. Mystery, I would say again.
Yeah.
Mystery, like a riddle that needs to be solved. I want the audience to look at it. Everybody gets a different feeling from it. The abstract parts of it sometimes reminds me of some of the fantasy movies we've seen, like I would say Lord of the Rings, maybe similar to that a little bit.
Right.
Not, but similar to that, the castles and all that. That you have the moon on top of the picture, then you have these castles, and you have a very dense forest camouflaging the castle, and there's a water going through. Things of that nature.
Would you like to see your artwork brought to life on the big screen? Almost like a Fantasia kind of thing where the images come to life and tell a story and are animated and, all of that?
Yeah, I would love that. Yes. In fact, the next one that I'm working on is, in fact, The City of Silence is more along these, because it has the stories associated with it. So the ability has spread out, Logan. It's not just the images now. This is what I was talking to my coworkers and family and friends. Now the stories are coming into my mind, even without me thinking. The same thing that happened 7 years ago with the images. Now the images are there, but they have stories associated with them. And again, where do these stories come from? How do they? I don't know. I don't have any for that. It just comes. I immediately put it on the paper. The paragraphs, the pictures, and City of Silence, the pictures in the next tetralogy or series are going to be different than Nightscapes. It's not nature. It's something totally different.
Amazing, amazing. It's pure inspiration, it sounds like, right?
It's pure inspiration. I have no explanation. And I'm not an artist by nature. I'm not a professional artist who went to school or anything like that. I just do this as a side hobby, but it keeps getting stronger and stronger, which is, I'm thankful to God for that, wherever this ability came,
Have the pictures and the images and the artistry changed over the course of time? Has it evolved?
Yeah. Yes, it has evolved. Yes. So I started with pictures of the moon, a reflection of the moon in the water, and the tetralogy of nightscapes. Then abstract art started to pop up, deep abstract art. And then after that, City of Silence pictures started coming up, which are primarily buildings in 3 dimensions, cathedrals in 3 dimensions, cities in 3 dimensions. And there's a story behind it. So it has changed. It hasn't stayed just about me drawing nature and moon and all that. So nature, then abstract art, then 3-dimensional pictures of the cathedrals, bridges, things like that, everything in 3D. Some of the buildings that I draw, it's really interesting. The audience say that it plays tricks on the mind. Like you look at the wall, you think you're looking at the ceiling. And you look at the ceiling from a different angle, you feel like you're looking at the wall. It adds even more mystery and magic into the thing.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of your work, is that it's open to interpretation and perception. And I think it makes it more intriguing to look at and more compelling, no doubt.
My
So
brother always says, you are not a normal artist.
That's a compliment.
I take it as a compliment.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
You're an extraordinary artist. That's what it
Yeah.
is. You're not an ordinary artist, for sure.
No.
So there are 4 books in the Nightscape's tetralogy?
Tetralogy, yes. There are 4 books, volume 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And all 4 are available right now?
No, the 4th one, me and my publisher here in Springfield, Missouri, we are working on it to get it printed.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, the books we've reviewed here at Spotlight are just terrific. Folks at home, the name of the series is Nightscapes. It's a tetralogy. It has stunning illustrations and shows the mesmerizing evolution of talent that Hamid possesses, that he got through inspiration one night, and it just continues to grow. The series invites you to witness the magic of creativity unfolding page by page. Hamid, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Sure, thank you very much.
Pleasure's all mine, sir. I appreciate your time and your insight. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time, this time until next time on Spotlight.